Alrighty, welcome back everybody to Project Eden's Garden. Well, time to investigate in the prologue. This feels weird. But it will give me a chance to talk to everybody some more, so I don't mind it. Let's start with the body, I guess. Why is there a gun? Our captors give us a lot of information about the victim. To their credit, what's written on the tablet seems accurate, but I should inspect the body just in case. Damn it, it is just a doll, Damon. Stop hesitating. I see. The doll was slumped against the door, her torso soaked in blood. Parts of her shirt had been ripped open, exposing bits of bloody, indiscernible pulp. I quickly took a step back, trying to control my breathing to avoid throwing up. Is it real blood, though? Like, pig blood or something? Or is it just, like, pink paint? I don't know. It's just a doll. There's no reason to be afraid of a doll. Okay. Oh, okay, we get a special body investigation section. Assault rifle. This is what I'm most interested in. Why does she have this? The initial sight of the doll shocked me so much I completely overlooked this rifle. Inspecting it now, I realized something. If the victim was stabbed, why was there a rifle near her body?
That rifle! Could you step back a bit? I'm curious about something.
What? No, Before I could even finish my sentence, Jean walked over to where I was and picked up the gun. Hey, you're messing with the crime scene! Ignoring me, he released the magazine of the gun with surprising ease. From the top of the magazine protruded a loaded bullet.
I see. That's interesting. This rifle hasn't even been used. Definitely a dangerous thing to have around. I'll put it down and guard it so nobody gets any smart ideas.
Better than him holding it. Damn, a loaded gun. What was going on in the killer's head? Why bring a gun to the crime scene and not even use it? Unless that gun was purely for intimidation? It's not very logical, but it'd be a twisted game to play with the victim. Or, you know, it's her gun. I'm guessing it's this blonde guy. I mean, the knife was clearly used to kill her, so I don't know if that was hers. Although it could be. A bloody knife lay next to the victim. It's safe to say this must be the murder weapon. Alright. Wait, to trinket? Is that what the watch is called? I saw trinket. I didn't really read it. The girl's been stabbed repeatedly. I don't need the tablet to know that. However, her cause of death... You'd think it was a stab to the heart or something, but the tablet claimed it was blood loss. Taking a closer look, the wounds didn't seem excessively deep. At least, not deep enough to pierce her heart. If she died from blood loss, what does that say about the killer? They probably could have killed her quickly if they wanted to. Did they want her to suffer a slow death? Damn, this is messed up. Okay. I think that's everything with the body. I don't know how to go back. Unless I am just missing something, maybe? Body, hand? Hand, okay. Her hands were surprisingly clean, all things considered. There were no other marks or injuries apart from her nails. It looked like there was dried blood underneath them. Why was there blood underneath her nails, but not the rest of her hand? 'Cause she scratched the killer? Okay. That seems to be all the evidence. Nothing else was catching my eye. I should check the inside of the closet now. Good idea. How do I have to press R to go back? Okay. Right, I remember now. R was to leave, so that's what we're supposed to do. I see. Oh, I have to, like, look from here? Oh, no, it's going to let me go in there. Okay. Oh, hey, guys. What you doing? Chilling in here. Like the rest of the building, the inside of the closet was old and dilapidated. It was the last place I'd want to dig through, but I had to gather as much evidence as possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to present a strong argument. True. Never mind, I thought these lockers might be important, but no. Shelf. The shelf was packed with an assortment of towels. I briskly inspected them, lifting each to check for anything underneath. Many had gathered dust, but that was it. Nothing looked suspicious about them. Alright. What is this? Who knows? Oh, okay. How about the bucket? It's a bucket. Pretty typical thing to find inside a janitor's closet. But why is it randomly lying here? There's nothing inside it except... What is this smell? It smelled like bleach. Oh, that's where the chemical burns came from. Okay. It was bleach. I was wondering, like, what did they throw at her? Some sort of grenade? Like, what? That was an assault rifle, so it wasn't beyond, you know, being possible.
There might be more clues around here. I'm going to check the entire closet for evidence.
No thanks. A person like her is probably more likely to cause a murder, not solve one. Cause a murder, not solve one. Okay. Alright, have fun with that. Cool.
Check it out.
Hey, check out what's behind this door!
Saying that, she stepped away from the corner. It's a ladder. Doesn't seem like there'd be anything strange about it. Why was this brought to my attention?
Dude, not
I'm
cool.
disappointed in you!
Huh?
So hacky.
You call that thing a ladder? It's so obviously a stepladder!
I learned from my idol Phoenix Wright. She is a gamer. Maybe she's played it.
Seriously?
Aren't they practically the same thing?
Pardon me.
I have to agree with Miss Amber. Everyone knows an ace investigator must record his evidence as accurately as possible. That's certainly what the victim would want.
A guy who doesn't get my references is no fun to be around. I'm gonna check the peeps outside. Smell you later, lawyer man.
She's already out of here. Did she even investigate anything besides that stupid ladder?
Step ladder.
Very funny. I'm sad it wasn't the lawyer that got to make that joke, but it's still good.
It's for the best.
We must make every effort to examine the crime scene as thoroughly as possible. Not for the sake of entertaining the people who kidnapped us, but for the sake of the victim.
After all, this is based on a real murder, was it not?
That was what the tablet said, though I'm still skeptical about the validity of that statement. So they used the ladder to put the bucket on the top of the door, and when she walked through, she got sprayed with bleach, and then they stabbed her to death? Although, I was like, why would you need to do something so complicated? If the gun is hers, then that actually makes sense. Because if she was, like, hunting them down, let's say, then they set a trap for her with what they had on hand. I don't know why the painful stabbing... I thought I did. Like, what else am I missing? Do I have to... Oh, there's a clock. But maybe they were enemies. I mean, she was hunting whoever the killer was with an assault rifle, maybe. That's my guess. There's a clock above the door, but it doesn't seem like it works. Looks like that's everything around here. I should check out the other end of the room. Oh, I couldn't have missed that. That was so important. There probably will be. Oh, I didn't see you guys back here. Hiding in the shadows, were ya?
Hey,
Gotta stay one step ahead.
I checked all the containers on this shelf. They're all full, with the exception of one. A bottle of bleach.
Huh?
Bleach? Huh. There was a bucket in this closet that reeked of it.
Makes sense.
That's probably not a coincidence, given this thing is supposed to emulate a real crime scene. It's crazy how much effort's been put into all this.
I can't think too much about what kind of situation we're in, or I'll never be able to handle it. Okay. In this guessing game I've created... Hello, Ingrid.
Golly.
These shelves are real intriguing. Take a look. Some of the cleaning brands go far back as the 80s and 90s.
You recognize them?
'Cause I use them.
Why would you do that?
How should I put it?
Oh, chemicals do the job better, since there were fewer regulations about what's poisonous and all that. Just don't ask where I got 'em. Don't want to alert the fuzz.
I'm sure they don't care about her black market cleaning supplies. That's so funny. Why would you do that?
I'm gonna die when I'm 20.
From inhaling toxic fumes. The book? Howdy. Excuse me, but you don't happen to know...
That security camera, it's brand new.
That was a girl. Okay. Now that she's mentioned it, it does look out of place. You'd think it would have gathered dust like the other items in here. Did it recently get cleaned or something?
My company's headquarters have similar ones installed, except these cameras are even more high-tech.
Sheesh.
Typical school, spending more on security than educating their students.
That's assuming this even is the Academy's doing. Nice. Oh, I wanted to know what that was. I think it's just a speaker, but it looks like a CD and a CD case. Can I check this mop? No, okay.
People here just keep getting weirder and weirder. I really...
There must be something else to check here. Class.
Not
Surely?
any further. I quickly found myself...
Oh, the camera. I can check the camera.
It's another surveillance camera. Is the guy on the speaker watching us through these? Just the thought made my stomach turn.
Oh, okay, that was it.
All right, everyone.
What was his voice again? It was like a used car salesman thing. All right, everyone, that's time. Look at you all. You've investigated the crime scene so well. It's enough to bring a tear to my eye. Jokes aside, please meet by the elevator of the class trial. You should find it somewhere around the tree of ignorance. Don't make me wait too long. I might start getting zap happy. See you soon.
Class trial? The hell does that mean? Sounds like that's the end of our investigation.
I didn't get to talk to anybody in the hallway because I investigated the body first because I thought that would be, well, oh well. Yeah, I said that already.
If we're done with this closet, we should go outside and talk to the others.
Okay, do I still get to talk to everyone? Oh no, this is different. I'm still gonna talk to everyone though.
The grass.
Ah, what the hell is a class trial?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Duh.
Obviously, we're going to court.
Court?
What?
He's going to put us on trial.
Listen to me.
Maybe that's where we'll talk about the clues we found.
Just saying.
It makes sense for our current situation. Investigation, clues, files. What else could that stuff be for?
But
Good point. It does seem oddly similar to court procedure. Obviously, we're missing key suspects and witnesses, but they don't seem to be relevant to this case anyway.
Wait a minute.
He mentioned that this elevator was near the tree of ignorance, right? He must be referring to the room with the tree.
focus.
Probably, yeah. It's the only thing I could think of. However, I don't recall seeing an elevator anywhere.
Just follow me.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's get our butts over there.
She keeps treating this like a dumb game. If we're really going on trial, it's going to be a nuisance to deal with.
Okay.
Oh, we might as well follow her.
One by one, everyone left. I guess I have no choice but to go as well. Oh, I didn't get to talk to anybody. Nope, Beanie Man is gone. Oh, Toshiko's here, though. Probably somebody on this side, right? No? Okay. Well, then I will talk to you. For sure. So small.
How do you remain so stoic at a time like this? Aren't you worried at all?
It's simple.
No, not really. It's not like we're investigating some high-stakes murder. It's just a dummy, that's all.
Yes, quite. I completely concur.
She's obviously faking it. Without even looking at her face, I can tell she's sweating bullets. He'll be fine. Unless you did it somehow. I don't know how that would happen.
I killed the dummy.
What? How?
I was playing an epic prank with bleach.
When I arrived at the tree, I saw that people were already bickering.
Check it out.
A big tree in Gardens Academy. Overused religious symbolism is tight. I really hope we get let out after this.
Oi, you.
Ha! Can't confirm, liar check.
Why are you asking her?
Come off the grass.
Come off the grass. She just said it, so I had to, come off the grass. She's clearly faking her talent.
Am I hearing you right?
And that makes her one of the bad guys?
Who would want to fake their identity besides someone with a secret to hide? Pfft, I bet she's the one who brought that gas bomb onto the train.
Really?
And she didn't even think to bring a mask to avoid passing out or whatever?
If no one else is gonna say it.
If all you needed was a mask to protect you, then...
Hey, don't look at me. I literally passed out. This helmet's got plenty of holes in it. I'd suffocate otherwise.
I've got something to say.
No, the liar chick's totally sus. This is just like Among Us. Just look at how calm she's been acting. She somehow knew the dead body was a dummy. Then she just poked it in the face. That's not normal.
Deal with it.
I told you, it was my intuition.
Intuition, my ass.
Hold your horses.
It's not unbelievable. My gut told me we should inspect the doll. Now look at us. We're on a mission to solve her murder.
Any clue?
Where's this elevator supposed to be again?
That's right. There's meant to be an elevator here. But all I see is this tree of ignorance. Maybe we're missing something? Or maybe we're being played for fools. I mean, this is pretty conspicuous, don't you think? I bet you that's the button right there, that eyeball. Or you open up the head. But anyway, I'm going to talk to everybody. Oh, hi, you're back.
The Tree of Ignorance. This reminds me of an exhibit I saw in
Come
London.
again.
That's certainly random.
For your information.
Well, it was a very memorable exhibit.
No, the London thing. We want vacation?
No.
A vacation? No, I don't do much of those anymore.
Why's that?
Never mind.
Inconsequential. Nevertheless, London was one of the nicer places to visit. Even if it was only for a few days, I really enjoyed meeting everyone there.
There's no way she would have met everyone in London in a few days. That's not what she was saying, man. She was just saying she enjoyed everyone that she met there. Come on.
Damn.
That golfer woman made some loaded accusations, huh?
People can believe what they want about me. In the meantime, I'm going to search for the elevator.
I see.
All right, then.
My mom will be so worried when I don't answer her calls. Accepting that letter was the worst mistake of my life.
Yeah, maybe.
This'll definitely be a story to tell the folks back at home.
True.
Let's just get this over and done with.
I just realized she only has one name. Everybody else has two names. It's interesting.
Hey, hey.
New objective, find the elevator.
Yep.
That can't be that hard, can it? Come on, let's investigate. This is like the tutorial level.
Weird.
There's gotta be an elevator somewhere around here. Maybe it's hidden behind some kind of, crud. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's called, fucking...
Awesome. It's called fucking.
Nah, not funny, dude.
It's so helpful. Lovely. Well, are you going to help? This is stupid. Is that his attempt at an excuse? Cool, thanks, man.
Hey, hey.
Hey, don't look so down. Even though things seem uncertain at the moment, try not to let it get to you.
A smile on that face.
You should wear a big smile. Smiling always makes me feel better.
Thanks for the advice. Yep, you're still sus.
Like Among Us. That's what I just said.
Man.
And I thought I was finally gonna have a normal school experience.
With the frizz? No way!
Nobody's gonna believe this. They might as well believe you guys, but the whole world's just gonna laugh at me.
This sucks.
This sucks.
He definitely has an inflated view of himself. Okay, well, we all knew that.
Once this is all over, I think I'll allow myself a nap.
Yeah, okay.
Is there really an elevator around here? Seems kinda hard to believe. Wouldn't that sort of thing be pretty difficult to, hide?
That liar chick is definitely hiding something. No matter how much you morons deny it, it's the truth. Are you going to have the Mew-like gift of prophecy where you're just correct about things? Well, I guess we'll find out.
Interesting.
A class trial. I'm quite excited about this. He is very tall. Like, I just realized, like, I think he's taller than Jean. I thought Jean would be the tallest. He is so tall. Anyway. Did I already talk to him?
Whatever this class trial entails, if we want to overcome it, we've got to work as a team. Jumping down each other's throats will get us nowhere.
I didn't, but, you know, was it consequential? Not really. Alright, let's go. At the base of the tree was a marble bust depicting a figure with a creepy mask. Was this here before? I actually don't remember. There were cracks all over the mask, and one of the eyes was missing. How old is this thing?
What you doing?
You noticed the statue too, don't ya?
Yeah.
You alright?
What's up with the statue?
There's definitely something whack about it. I just can't put my finger on what.
Look,
The mask is broken. There's a piece missing.
But
Is that weird? The statue's probably like super old. It makes sense it'd be cracking and stuff.
I'm talking.
No, this definitely seems intentional.
way.
Like it's crappy on purpose. Even so, it's not relevant to the elevator, is it?
Well, you know,
What about?
maybe find the piece and place it back on the statue. Something will happen, like a puzzle-solving game.
That sounds kind of far-fetched, but wouldn't hurt to try. Sounds easy. You're saying we gotta look around for another part of the mask? Hold on to your butts, because I got the eyes of a predator.
Whatever.
Isn't that Ugh, never mind.
With that, everyone started to search the tree again. Some people inspected the tree itself, while others scoured around it. After what seemed like only a few minutes, Grace stood up frantically with something in her hand.
Oi, everybody, I found it!
We gathered around Grace to see what she was holding.
Nice.
It's an eyeball, okay.
Nice, that must be it.
Oh, what should we do with it? Do we just stick it back in the mask?
Probably, yeah. That'll take care of it.
Soybean.
Back off, Hercules! You ain't the one who found it!
Grace brought the piece over to the statue and slotted it right into the mask. And then, nothing happened.
Fail.
That was anticlimactic.
Suddenly, the ground we were standing on began to shake. Wait, is this whole room the elevator? That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, golly!
Oh shit!
I love that. Why, this is so funny.
Are we gonna die?
Just straight to death with all of you. Whoa, pre-rendered. Crazy. Okay, dude. It's not that crazy.
Yo, I was so right!
That actually worked?
A fucking secret passageway in a tree. Never thought I'd see that. The Tree of Knowledge, a symbol of sentience, intuition, and understanding, exists here only as a barren replica. The Tree of Ignorance emulates the wonder of nature, but does not achieve it. And justly so, for ignorance often aspires to be seen as wisdom.
Game over, man! Game over!
Oh god, now he's spitting random philosophy. We're so fucked.
Will this take us to the elevator?
What about?
There's stairs at the foot of the opening.
Yep.
What are you waiting for? Let's explore.
If I may ask.
Why the sudden rush?
Duh.
I want to get home, duh.
Elementary, my dear.
If we get this over with, we'll be out quicker. Simple math.
Sure.
Fair enough. So we just walk in, do we?
One by one, we approached the opening of the tree. And then it ate us and we all died. And descended into the darkness.
This is an elevator.
I see. The elevator was underneath the tree.
Reckless investments, I'm telling you.
With a rumble, the elevator began its descent. We stood in silence, 16 worried strangers plummeting into the unknown. That's what we were, after all. Random people thrown into this horrible place, and for what? Some twisted man's game? A fake crime scene, an investigation, a creepy statue, an elevator, and a tree? None of this was the work of your average kidnapper. It was something much bigger, and in no way could it be connected to Eden's Garden Academy. You know, the way you keep saying that makes me think it is. The elevator began to slow, snapping me out of my thoughts. I stood up tall, and when movement stopped completely, the doors opened. Ooh, nice. I like the very simple stained glass. It's nice. In front of us was a large circular hall supported by marble pillars. In the center of the room, 16 podiums had been arranged into a circle. Were those for us? Welcome, everyone! I hope you enjoyed the elevator ride, even if it was a bit quick. As you can see, this is the trial room. Each podium has a name on it. Find your designated podium and stand there until given further instruction.
However,
And if we don't comply?
Then I'll zap you, of course.
Back off.
Not this zapping shit again.
Just face it, Miss Madison. We have to go along with his demands.
Looks like there's a few smart ones in the pack, eh? Well, come along now. We don't have all day. There was no avoiding it. We had to assume our places. Alright. Whoa. Scanning the faces around me, everyone wore similar expressions. Discomfort, anger, worry. It didn't end. We've been kidnapped and forced to play as pawns in some insane game. No free will, no choice in our actions. And all we could do was move forward. We had a hope for an escape. A way to run away from this twisted place. We had to solve this murder case. Sure, why not? Alright, R. We don't have that many truth bullets. Yeah, there's only 5. So this shouldn't be too long. Should be able to finish it this episode. Nice. Ooh. That was cool. Like the lie bullet thing. That's what it reminded me of.
Let's begin with a brief explanation of the class trial.
Oh right, is this going to be voiced?
The objective here is simple. Explain how the murder took place. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue what you believe happened to the victim. Should you all agree on the right answer, you will be free to leave this place. Should you all agree on the wrong answer, well, you'll find out. That's all.
Oh, very ominous.
Everybody.
somebody, get me out of here.
Okay, so it is voiced.
If this is something we must discuss, I know a good place to start.
Get me out of here, 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 get me out of here! Ah! Somebody get me out of here!
Okay, calm down. Okay. Well. Oh, she's dead.
What happened to her? Oh shit! They fried her brain!
Calm down. It's only a shock. She won't suffer any permanent side effects. If I wanted to see the brain dip bigger, I'd just turn on the telly. On that note, please.
I still don't know if this this has to be British, right? There was the train and the accents and the telly. I don't know. Holy shit. The people running this thing aren't playing around.
As you were saying, Wolfgang?
Right. The way I see it, the objective of this
By the way, can I get like a seat with this thing?
That-
Just gonna be an onlooker. It's only fair.
You're seriously not going to contribute?
What am I even supposed to do?
Put your detective hat on, buddy. We're here to solve a mystery.
is he just Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, who murdered that dummy chick, right?
not who murdered her, how they murdered her.
Did that tablet not explain it?
It listed her wounds, yes, but it didn't explain how they were inflicted.
Probably because it's so obvious.
But, Miss Amber, you didn't even read the tablet.
Oh.
And I don't have to.
Would you look at that? A debate's already underway.
These guys are clearly confused. I need to stop them before they arrive at the wrong conclusion. Oh gosh, do you hear that? That's the sound of a non-stop debate approaching. During non-stop debates, your classmates will speak one after another without interruption. Students may say things that contradict the truth, and it's your job to determine which statements must be broken in order to progress the trial. For your ammo, you've been armed with truth bullets that you gathered during the investigation. Truth bullets that are relevant to the debate will be loaded into your truth cylinder. Wow, cool. Use the mouse button to aim your reticle and press the right key to fire. Why right? You want to aim for words highlighted in gold. Those are the weak spots. A lie or contradiction may be hiding within a weak spot. Carefully compare your classmates' statements to the evidence you've gathered, and use the correct truth bullet to destroy the relevant weak spot. If things are flying by too fast, use the spacebar to concentrate. This will temporarily slow down time. Speaking of time, be sure not to run out of it. That's an automatic game over. Not that someone of your caliber would ever fail. Anyway, press F3 to revisit the controls whenever. Cool. That's all for now. Don't jump to too many conclusions. Oh, you know me.
The
Okay.
mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true? Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
Oh yeah?
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilled that blood besides that big scary gun?
Actually,
That's right. There was a
I don't
gun.
think that's where I'm
You
supposed to
hear
shoot.
that, liar man? She agrees.
Ellipses. Okay, maybe it is. The loudest voices in the room aren't always the smartest. Fortunately, an uninformed argument is never difficult to shoot down.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true?
Can I bring up...
Objection!
I can! Oh, this is so much better. Okay. I can bring up the truth bullets and just look at them. Ah. Okay. It's probably the fact that it's fully loaded is what we're going to say as a reasoning for why she's
Obvious
wrong,
what the murder
right?
weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilled that blood besides that big scary gun?
Oh, right, white noise. Whoa, Jesus. That specific horn sound makes me think of Fire Emblem.
Barely investigated the crime scene to begin with.
Whoa, what? I searched that place from top to bottom.
All right, then tell me, how was a fully loaded assault rifle used as the murder weapon?
That's easy. It wasn't. Obviously,
Oh,
the shooter
her hand.
loaded the gun to full capacity.
Oh no.
Any smart shooter could tell you that. Right, Desmond?
Why are you bringing me into this?
Except, the victim suffered multiple stab wounds to the torso. If the gun was fired, not only should the body have had bullet wounds, but there would be shell casings from the fired bullets. We saw neither at the crime scene.
Details. If the gun didn't do that, chicken, what was the actual murder weapon?
The actual murder weapon? That's obvious. Decide. Oh, I like this UI. This is nice. Okay. The ladder!
I got it. The bloody knife. It's just so blatantly obvious. It was literally right next to the victim's body.
Cam's razor gotta ruin everything.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's Occam's razor, actually, but she was doing a funny accent.
Interesting. Both the knife and the rifle were present at the crime scene, but only the knife was used.
Kind of weird, choosing the inferior weapon.
Nothing beats the sting of a sharpened blade.
Okay, calm down.
If the killer didn't use the rifle, why was it at the crime scene?
Maybe it came from inside the closet.
Yeah, you know, school supplies. Cleaning utensils for, you know, mop, an fully loaded assault rifle.
I see why you'd be storing a gun in a janitor's closet.
Man, I don't know. What if it's not even related to the murder?
Of course it's related. It's covered in blood.
Oh no. Everyone's starting to yell.
Also, somebody said in the comments of the last episode that the bracelet is a chameleon. on her arm, which makes me even more suspicious of her. Although it does make sense for a cosmetologist to be represented by a chameleon, because it's like, you know, changing your features. But still, this debate is getting out of control fast. I need to say something.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet
True.
they opted for the knife.
Did I change? Oh, you just scroll.
Odd
That's
choice.
nice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
Be careful with opinions!
Then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
It's easy to assume the killer was the one holding the gun, but considering the details of the victim's death, I'm inclined to think otherwise.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife.
Okay, let me just look at exactly what we're doing, because I can do that. It's probably cause of death is blood loss, right? What's the other thing I have? It's the bucket or the knife? I actually don't remember. Because I was so focused on it probably being the tablet.
We're next
Oh,
to
it's the assault
victim's
rifle.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work.
So that's not
These
it.
days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer
Is it that? Oh,
would
I...
have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Okay,
Yet
I
they
missed it.
opted for the knife.
Odd choice.
Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then...
No, that's wrong!
These are a little trickier because it's not the full statement. It's like the thing before the statement. So it actually makes you listen to the full testimony.
Keep assuming the killer had the gun. We'll end up running in circles.
What? You think the killer was unarmed?
No, they were definitely armed. With the knife.
With the knife!
It's probably because they never had it to begin with.
But then, who did?
Easy. The victim.
Whoa, the dummy had the gun?
If it wasn't the killer, it has to be her. She must have brought it to the closet. She was probably carrying it before the murder, but dropped it when the killer attacked her.
Oh, I guess that makes some sense.
Complete sense.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Aren't you overlooking something?
Huh?
The victim was stabbed from the front, meaning she could have seen the killer coming, correct?
Not when she had bleach in her eyes.
Why didn't she shoot them?
Stealth attack! I bet the killer memorized her AI movements.
Okay,
The
wow.
girl must have been
Partially
killed before
true.
She had the chance to defend herself.
That's
Not quite.
Not technically true.
Eh?
There's evidence of a struggle between the victim and the killer.
Specifically, evidence that shows the victim attempted to fight back. Oh, the nails.
This is it. We found dry blood under the victim's fingernails, which implies she was clawing at her attacker. Of course, no explanation is definitive without photo proof of the killer, but I'm confident this is what happened.
Why would you resort to scratching when you're carrying a gun?
Did something get in the way of her using it?
Wonder if that killer stole it from her.
She should have seen or heard him coming from the hallway at the very least.
Why do you think she was in the hallway?
That's where the fight happened, right?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. How can we be sure the fight happened there?
Maybe the fight started in the hallway, and after it ended, her body was dragged into the closet.
If that happened, shouldn't there have been streaks of blood on the floor? Or in the hallway?
Drag marks. Can't say I saw any.
It was merely a jest. No need to take it so seriously.
Instead of dragging the victim, what if the killer carried her? I don't know why they would want to do that. but it would explain the lack of drag marks.
But then...
True.
Wouldn't the killer have been covered in...
Blood. Aye. It should have gotten everywhere. Those wounds were brutal. A few inches deep, I reckon. Carrying her would have done nothing to stop the blood flow.
Good point.
She was obviously killed in the closet. That's where the blood was?
Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry for derailing the conversation.
Moving on. That fight. The victim had the gun, but she was overpowered?
If she wanted to, she could have just... You know...
It doesn't make much sense, does it?
There must be something we're missing. Something that explains how the victim was overpowered. And I know I'm the only one who can figure it out. Agree points! I know what the agree points are. It's okay. You would have noticed some of them were blue! We're expecting that, Yeah, never. The agree point aligns with the evidence you've gathered. You can use your truth books to prove it correct. Aim your reticle and shoot. In pursuit of truth, you must be prepared to corroborate your classmates' testimonies. When it would be wise to do so is for you to figure out. Good luck.
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hands.
Nope.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
She still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see them coming.
True!
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend?
No.
I wouldn't hurt a friend.
Oh.
She tried clawing their eyes out.
Good point. Good counter-argument. Why did the victim not shoot her attacker? Everyone's got a theory, but who has the actual answer?
That slimy
Well, why don't you tell me, man? I know.
and knocked the gun out of her hands.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see.
What?
Appreciate the support, but you're not.
Hold on.
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hands.
I have to use this because okay, I was ahead of it. I was ahead of the logic.
She still carried a
The next question is going to be, where was the bleach from?
Why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see.
There we go.
Got it.
John actually has a point. The victim probably couldn't see what was going on.
Auto?
Tablet, she
How did I turn that on by
eyes.
accident?
That sort of injury would have effectively blinded her. Also, inside the janitor's closet, there was a large empty bottle of bleach. That's probably the chemical that caused the burns.
Blinded.
Hold on. I have to see what the button is that sets the text to auto, because I have to turn it off. I don't. F3 was controls, right? Thank you. Okay. Confirm advanced text, cancel skip text. Mode? Mode? Did I hit space? I am known to hit space. Yes, okay.
All that pain, yet she still managed to fight back?
She sure put up a struggle. Without a gun, I guess the next best thing was her hands.
So the killer was definitely the one who blinded her.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Knowing she had a gun, he blinded her to make her less dangerous. Then, when he pinned her against the door and stabbed her, she tried to retaliate.
Until eventually dying from her wounds. Jeez, this is brutal. Couldn't they have toned down the violence?
The past is in the past, and we can't change that. All we can do is solve her untimely death, eh?
I mean, by the sounds of it, we've already figured it out, right?
No, not yet.
Is he the rival? He's giving me rival vibes now.
But we've already discussed so much.
We know she was armed. We know she was blinded. We figured out how she died. How is this not a closed case?
Please understand, I'm proud of everyone's hard work so far. Because of you, we're one step closer to bringing the victim justice.
This was never about the dummy.
However, we should think of this case like an equation. Knowing how it works is only half the struggle. Now we need to figure out why.
As
Nice.
the motive?
Mm-hmm. You're on the right track.
You speak like we have any information on the killer. The man's a stock image. He doesn't even have a name.
True.
What are we supposed to ascertain from that? That he's a non-character?
Absolutely.
Not every answer will be written down for you. Sometimes actions speak louder than...
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold the phone!
Grace?
Whoa, what? Since when was Grace back to normal?
Right now, soybean. Watching you guys try to solve
Oh,
this
no.
mystery has been like watching a dumpster catch on fire.
Don't fight me for some reason.
It's clouded your vision, cause there's a big-ass elephant in this room.
An elephant in the room?
That's giving us too much credit.
So the killer incapacitated that girl. She had a gun, it makes total sense. Problem is, you've yet to explain how he used the bleach.
I sort of assumed he spilled it on the victim.
Right. He just tipped the bottle over her.
That bottle is where the bleach came from, sure. But I doubt the bottle itself was involved in the murder. When we found it, it was neatly ordered on a shelf near the back of the closet.
You could
The
put it
gun
back,
and the
but
knife
yeah.
were just thrown on the floor. So it's weird this weapon was handled so differently.
Do you think the killer just poured the contents of that bottle into something else?
Sure.
Also, she had a gun, so how would he manage to throw it in the first place, right?
What is this something else? Go on. Explain it before this dumpster turns molten.
She's really stubborn about this, but I get the point she's trying to make. Before we move on from this subject, we need to make sure its logic is completely sound. Alright then, let's put out this fire. Whoa, we got like all of them.
Well, if the original bottle's been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What
No.
about a container?
True?
There were a bunch in the closet.
Oh, maybe not true?
The killer had a secret water gun.
No.
So when the
What?
victim came in, bow! He squirted her in the eyes.
Nice.
The ink vanishes when the battle's over.
Call the fire brigade, Grace.
Okay. To inflict those kind of chemical burns, the killer had to use something, but what?
Well,
Container it is,
if the
then.
original bottle's been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What about a container?
I got it.
Okay, it worried me there for a second because it didn't break like last time. I was like, what? Then what?
She's correct. The killer put the chemicals in a bucket. Or, more specifically, the same bucket we found at the crime scene. After all, it reeked of bleach. If the killer didn't use it to transport bleach, what else did they use it for? Personal cleaning? I doubt it.
Yo, that makes
Doubt it.
sense.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay, cool. So, how'd the killer use that bucket to spill bleach in the victim's eyes?
It would be a fairly heavy bucket, so it's unlikely he threw it on her.
She'd shoot him before he even had the chance.
Yeah.
Use your brain, mate.
Of course, my apologies.
It's a good question. How was the killer able to get a hefty bucket of chemicals into the victim's eyes? Especially without her knowing. There must be some kind of clue missing here. Think, Damon, think.
Even if he did manage to splash her, the girl should have sustained intense facial burns. However, aside from her eyes, her face was relatively untouched.
Well, if you check the tablet, it said she had burns to the scalp, too.
Burns to the scalp? How does that work? Unless those chemicals came from above?
Death from above. Above? Yes, that's right. Above!
Did the killer somehow suspend the bucket in the air? Maybe there was a mechanism that made it tip over when someone entered the room.
Where's this bucket supposed to be again?
Above. Which... well...
Above.
could mean anything.
Was the killer hiding above the door frame?
There's no way they were up there. There's nothing for them to sit or hold on to. Not to mention, they couldn't have stabbed her from up there.
And if there's no place for the killer to sit, then there's no place for the bucket to sit.
Good ideas.
To account the size difference.
Eh?
The space above the entrance might not be able to support a person, but it could still support something as small as a bucket.
And that thing supporting the bucket?
The killer wanted two things: for the bucket to be above the victim and for it to spill on her when she entered the room. In other words, he needed to balance the bucket, but on what?
I got it.
Phew.
I don't know how we overlooked this, but I've got it.
It's one of the classic blunders, you know, walking into a room and getting buckets of liquid splashed on your head.
Like in those water bucket pranks people film?
Yep.
Exactly. When the victim came into the room, she pushed open the door and caused the bucket to fall on her. This would make it so she couldn't shoot back or even get a chance to see her assailant. When the bucket hit the ground, it probably rolled away. That'd explain why we found it a couple feet from the victim.
I do think well, maybe she did. We don't know. But if she did have the gun, I do think it's funny that she would get hit like that and not just instantly think, I'm going to pull the trigger and shoot the gun around and see if I can hit something.
That is the possibility, yes.
It sounds like the best conclusion.
Although probably shock. That is the answer to why she didn't do that.
There's just one problem. How was the killer able to reach that high? Unless they were abnormally tall, it'd be difficult to place something on top of that door.
They used the ladder. Stepladder!
Well, let's use that as our next point of discussion. How did the killer set up this trap?
To balance that bucket on the door, the killer would need to reach pretty high. Was there anything at the crime scene they could have used as a boost? If I can answer that, it'll add further credibility to my theory. Oh, spot selection.
This is it.
Cool. Does Danganronpa have that? It does, right?
Closet door.
It's been so long.
Probably use that.
I don't know if V3 had that. I think Danganronpa 1 had it, for sure. I know Ace Attorney has it. It's like for maps mostly, but I must have. I'm just forgetting. Certainly. It's been so long.
After climbing it, they could position the bucket right on top of the door.
Figures.
My precious stepladder? You think the bad guy used my super duper obvious stepladder?
Match point. Occam's razor.
Yes, it appears our killer didn't care much for subtlety. No matter how obvious it seems, it's the only answer that makes sense.
It was the only knickknack of its kind, too. If there's something else that killer could have used, it's escaping me.
I see. It makes sense with what we've got so far, but I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I still have one last question for you apes.
Please just leave us alone. Oh, I'm so tired.
Hey, don't be like that. Grace may be loud, but her questions have really helped our discussion.
Anyway,
What'd you call me?
What was the killer doing when that bucket poured onto the girl's head?
Hiding on the other side of the door so they could quickly stab her as soon as she was...
They didn't just stand there and observe.
I have to agree. They must have been hiding somewhere, waiting for her to arrive. Somewhere nearby, I assume. It could be either of these, but given they attacked her against the door, I'm going to say in the back of the closet. Yeah.
I've got it. The killer was hiding in the back of the closet. If he was pressed up against the furthest shelf and facing the entrance, there'd be a diagonal path between him and his victim. I say diagonal because that's the only way you can make a direct charge forward.
Fair enough.
Also, when the victim entered the room, she would have been standing with her back to the hallway, right outside the killer's range. That's why the stab wounds were only made to her chest.
Creating the crime scene we found! Great job, guys! We're actually doing this!
That was the last mystery, right? We must have put everything together now.
We still don't know the motive.
Even if it felt fake, I feel really bad for this victim.
Well, wait a few seconds.
It's an ugly sight, but she's no victim.
Yes, exactly.
Well, technically she is, but let's be real. The girl was carrying a gun. She probably provoked the killer, and they killed her in self-defense. It's a clear-cut case of the hunter becoming the hunted, no?
That's no excuse.
What?
There's no justifying murder. Killing a woman is the worst thing a man could do.
Okay.
You're emanating a sizable amount of emotional tension. Are you okay?
There's no excuse.
How many?
There never was an excuse.
Okay.
28 stab wounds. No girl, no person should ever suffer Kara's fate.
Wait, who's Kara?
It was the victim's name.
Okay.
Read the tablet.
I agree with you, dude. But you don't have to shout out your point.
Oi, what's all this about? We've figured out the case. Stop trying to drag it on.
No. We're not finished here.
Huh?
There's no murder without a proper motive. We need to discuss why Kara died.
I am not going this far for a fictional murder case. We aren't looking for a murderer. We're looking for answers, which we have.
Do you turn in a half-finished exam, Winona? An essay without its conclusion? This isn't about efficiency. This is about being right. Or do you, a supposed entrepreneur, not value integrity?
What the hell?
Let's just talk about the motive.
Okay.
There's no harm in doing that, right?
Well, what was the motive? Was the killer fighting for their life? Or were they going out of their way to murder?
Maybe the gun freaked him out.
If I was in the killer's shoes, I'd definitely be nervous. Thing is, while acting out of self-defense is possible, since when does it look like this?
Given the severity, I'd liken it to a crime of passion.
Something done on impulse?
What if they were frightened? A spooky thing might have set them off big time.
A spooky thing like being hunted down by a girl with an assault rifle, yeah.
Wrong. There's no way this was done in self-defense. No matter what excuse the killer uses, it doesn't change the fact they have blood on their hands.
Yo, bud. You seem a little pressed.
Yo, yeah, we need to take a break for a second here.
Silence! I won't allow this!
Nice. Alright. Wow, things are getting emotional. Thanks. Pathos. Okay. Well, you've only been using logical arguments to further the trial so far. Now might be a good time to change your approach. Introducing the pathos mechanic. Okay, tell me about this. During nonstop debates, the emotionally charged commentary of your classmates will appear as purple text. These comments are called pathos statements. You can absorb these pathos statements by hovering over them with your reticle and pressing E or LT. Oh, controller support. That's nice. The pathos statement will then be loaded into your truth cylinder. Find a weak spot that is directly contradicted by the pathos statement and fire. If successful, you'll make a powerful emotional argument to counteract your opponents. Stay on the lookout for pathos statements. While you'll always be able to advance the trial using pure logic, emotional arguments can lead to some unique conversations. That's interesting, because I was like, what's the real difference between debater and lawyer? And I feel like this is going to be the breaking point, which is why he's the...
Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you if you have no proof.
I don't know. It's the only thing so far.
Says the ultimate liar.
True! Okay. Was this murder justified, or was it truly unforgivable? I feel like I have an obligation to find the truth.
To kill Kara so easily.
So what am I shooting this at? I wasn't really paying attention to anything.
No way to justify
I was just waiting for a purple thing to show up.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
Maybe?
Shouldn't make a lot of assumptions.
Hey, wait. Hold on.
The killer's morals.
No, I can't. Okay. I wanted to see if I could check more behind this.
This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer,
Maybe?
dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you.
Maybe you shoot there? I don't know.
So says the ultimate liar?
I actually don't know where I'm shooting this. But I've got to guess it might be this first statement.
Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic humanity's brightest.
No? Okay.
To kill
Uh-oh. Oh, I get to keep it though. That's very helpful.
There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
I don't think it's this.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no reason.
Maybe? Did I miss? I missed, and I lost.
So says the ultimate liar.
But how can we do that? There's no trust.
Okay, it was that, and I freaking missed. And I missed! Oh. That got really close, too. Okay.
Expertise shouldn't be overlooked here. If there's anyone to believe, it's the lawyer.
Say what?
Wolfgang has spent his life in the courtroom and on the crime scene. He'd understand the criminal mind in ways we can't possibly imagine. He was even emotionally invested in a murder case he'd never seen before. If his lawyer's intuition tells us that the killer was in the wrong, then we have no reason to disagree. We're all ultimates for a reason. We need to trust in talent.
I wonder if that'll come around.
If Wolfgang is adamant about the killer's intentions, we should have faith in him.
Yeah, Wolfgang's clearly trying his best for us.
Let's trust in the lawyer and his bargain bin buddy.
Hey, if it means going home, then new guys convinced me.
Are we all new guys here?
Right on! Team Wolfgang all the way!
Wait.
Thank you all for your support.
Is this a split decision, perhaps?
Still disagree?
Even if I did, it's not worth pursuing.
Does this mean we're done here? Hey! We're disembodied voice! We've figured out your stupid case! Now let us leave!
Oh, you're finally done. In all honesty, I stopped paying attention a long time ago.
Hey, if the text wasn't overlapping, I would have hit that point the first time.
What? We only went through this case because of you.
Silly me, I have a short attention span. So, just for my own benefit, why don't you summarize the information you've learned? It'll be good practice.
Practice?
Fine. I'll do as you ask. I'll present the truth.
We'll present the truth together. Let's dig into it.
Alright. Closing argument. How does it work? Let's see, because it's always different. You can summarize the case from start to finish. Your medium will be a comic book, naturally. Yeah, totally. Since the class has a relatively good understanding of the case, some parts of the comic are already complete. It seems your peers have glossed over some of the smaller details, judging by those gaps in the story. To fill these gaps, you have been provided a collection of stock panels. Use the WASD keys to navigate your stock and press the space bar to select a panel. Okay. Hover your mouse over the relevant gap and press the left key to insert it. If you wish to undo your selection, simply press spacebar again. Don't forget Q and E, that's how you flip between pages. Okay. The gaps will reveal a hint if you hover over them. If you ever need to revisit information, the control panel is only one F3 key away. Thanks. Stand up straight and fix that tie. We've got a case to close. Oh, well, that was fast. So right to left. We're starting here. What was the victim carrying? Oh, right. I have to use WASD. Well, I don't have that yet. Where did the killer hide? Well, yeah. How'd the killer reach the doorframe? Stepladder! It must be this one, right? So how do I... Space? And then left. Okay. Got it. I got it. How is the trap triggered? By the door opening. Okay, that's this. What did the victim do when they were stabbed? What do I have left here? What is this? In the janitor's closet. This must be on page 1, right? Where did the killer hide? Oh, okay. I understand. Got it. Oh. These are unlocked now. Okay, I was gonna say. I think I'm stuck. Clawing at the killer's neck would be at the end. What did the killer pour into the bucket? We don't have that yet either. What did the victim do when stabbed? Claw. Yeah. Oh, this is assault rifle. It's just not assault rifle at all. Got it. And got it.
I got it.
Hey, I got it. Told you. What?
The victim was Kara Koshkinen, the ultimate teacher's
Oh.
aide.
Thank you for saying that, because I didn't say it properly probably at all.
Right before her death, she was wandering around the academy carrying a large assault rifle. That was probably when our unnamed killer, who was armed with a knife, spotted her.
And decided he'd put her to eternal rest. He slid inside that little janitor's closet, where he began hatching a deadly scheme.
He began hatching a batch of chickens. They'd be important later.
Aye. They needed a way to surprise the victim, who was better armed. The killer grabbed a bottle of bleach from the closet and poured its contents into a bucket.
That's because they wanted to blind Kara by splashing the bleach in her eyes.
Sneaky little bastard.
But to do that, they would need to set a trap and catch the victim by surprise. The killer moved a stepladder behind the closet door and climbed up it to reach the doorframe. There, they carefully placed the bucket.
That way, when the victim opened the door, the bucket would empty its contents all over her.
Yup. It's contents of eggs from the chickens.
Setup, the killer retreated to the far end of the janitor's closet and waited for the victim's arrival.
Just making a little noise. Ooh, what was that?
The killer could have made noise to attract the victim's attention. Either way, the victim tried to open the door.
And, the bleach splashed all over her. Her scalp, face, and eyes were severely burned.
Youch!
Come on, man.
The killer leapt from his hiding place and began viciously attacking Kara. In his fit of rage and cruelty, he stabbed her from the front 28 times.
Spoken like a true lawyer. Just added a few extra little emotional details there.
While being stabbed, the victim tried to fight back by clawing at the killer. This left the dried blood under her fingernails. However, it didn't deter the killer, and the victim eventually died.
At present, we don't have enough information to reveal the killer's true identity, but their actions haven't been forgotten. That is the truth behind this case. Well, are you satisfied?
A measly 3 acts. Poor Horace would be beside himself.
Poor Horace.
Who the hell is...
No one cares! We've done your end of the bargain. Now let us out already!
That is what I promised, isn't it? Alright, I'll let you leave this room. But before I do, may I be frank with you all for a second? This entire time I've been hiding behind a speaker, afraid to show my face. My heart tells me you'll react cruelly to it.
Okay.
My head, it raises a compelling argument. Who cares what others think? Shouldn't I get to have a little fun once in a while? Yes. Let's do away with these silly boundaries already. It's time we meet face to face.
Is your name Horace, maybe?
What was that?
A killer, perhaps?
Everybody, look over there!
It's me, Monokuma.
No. But it's the same fog cloud as when Junko revealed. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess, you're wearing a mask, so...
Toss away those pickaxes, peasants! The walls have finally crumbled. What will you do now that you've reached the other side? Will you treasure this new land? Serve it? Or will you set it ablaze? Well, peasants, have you made your choice?
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
True! This person, his voice.
Are you the speaker guy?
Speaker guy? No.
Wait, is he actually...
You don't address your superiors like that.
Oh no, he's wearing a jumpsuit or something. I was going to say, is he like literally a gray man? Because his skin is gray. I was like, is he literally the killer from Danganronpa?
In the halls of this academy, you'll refer to me by one name, and one name only.
Satan?
His Highness, the great and powerful Tozu, host of the killing game.
The what? Killing game? Okay. Play the intro. Oh, not yet.
Well done.
Oh, what voice is this? Oh, you can call me Tozu for short. Hey, what do you mean by killing game?
The show must go on.
Did you really think this story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Quite the contrary. This is only the beginning.
That's...
Of what?
Why the long face?
Isn't it obvious? You, my dear subordinates,
Blood is rushing.
are going to kill each other.
That's not...
That's not funny.
But you said we could go home if we solved the mystery.
I gave you peasants incentive. It's not my fault you took it the wrong way.
I don't know, it's just what his voice is, so...
What are you talking about? You lied to us.
Rubbish.
Lied? Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm a fair man, a man sworn to the truth, and if I recall correctly...
You'll be free to leave this place. Ah ha 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 ha.
I specifically said you could leave this room, not go home.
You sneaky son of a bitch.
Not okay.
That's... You're full of shit, man. There you go, losing control of your voice. That's how you know you've lost the argument.
Oh no, not like this.
Logic is a cowardly thing like that. It will jump ship the moment it's confronted with a challenge.
He didn't lie, did he? He said he never lies. So when he said this was Eden's Garden Academy... Bullshit! What am I doing believing someone like him? There's no other way around it. He is lying.
Dude!
Hey, why didn't you tell us about your dumb game sooner?
And watch you peasants run away? Puh, I can't host a game without any contestants.
Please, don't do this. I just want to be with my family. Please, just let me go home.
There's no need to worry.
There's no need to cry, Miss Tolna. We are all civilized here. No one's going to kill simply because they've been ordered to. What's this? The peasant has a rebuttal.
Let's see.
A match between unprepared, unfit players. You could hardly call that a match. In much the same way, this game you've proposed, a killing game between students who don't have the heart to kill.
Nonsense.
Do you seriously think we'll abandon our morals so quickly?
Hey.
Yeah, that's totally right. We're like super boring people. We don't have what it takes to do something like this.
Indeed. My heart is terribly soft. Softer than the most delicate piece of mochi. When I see a fly in the room, I catch the poor dear in a jar and return it to nature. I would never. My mochi heart would melt otherwise.
I see.
That is your argument, is it?
How interesting.
So, what has you so convinced? What do you mean? What makes you think the people in this room lack the heart to kill? Do you know anything about them besides their names and ultimate talents?
Pathetic.
If you do, then tell me, regarding killing, where do they stand? Are they okay with murder if it's for the greater good? Are they okay with murder if it guarantees their own survival? Is where they currently stand on the issue the same as where they're willing to stand? Go on. You've had a couple hours to get to know everyone. That's plenty of time to learn their life stories, right? Should I take that as a no? Goodness, what a surprise. Not. You wouldn't be here all dressed up in that fancy suit if you were so naive.
Such a sport.
And one more thing. That trial you just did, that was your preparation for the killing game. How? All you did was make us play detective.
Plot twist.
Plot twist. And for good reason. If one of you is killed, the remaining students will participate in a true class trial. Your objective here is simple. Uncover the culprit if you can. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue who you believe committed the murder. The result will be decided by popular vote, and if you choose the right person, they alone will be executed, and the killing game will continue. However, if you choose the wrong person, the guilty party will be set free, and the rest of you will be executed instead. Those are the rules of the game. Does everyone understand?
All of us will be executed? That's not fair.
Really? I think it's one of our most beautiful rules. Everyone has the incentive to participate in the game, innocent or otherwise.
What's happening?
It's insane. You're treating us like pigs to slaughter. Nonsense. All of you have the chance to survive this game. Do you think the common butcher would be so merciful? By the way, if no guilty party ever escapes, the game will end when there are only 2 students left. Adam and Eve, if you will. You may want to remember that, or maybe you don't care. It depends on what kind of person you are. Out of the 16 people here, only 2 would be allowed to survive.
No shot.
2 people. That's only better than if someone gets away with murder. I know. That's what makes it so funny. Most of you will die no matter what, and yet, with every passing trial, you will cling to life more desperately.
The show must go on.
And that exact mindset is what causes more murders to happen. Aren't these rules simply brilliant? A perfect test of the limits of human compassion.
I have an appetite.
I can't wait to see you all in action. The madman's loud, tinnitus-inducing laughter was suddenly cut off by a well-timed strike from behind. Okay. Oh.
I said it a million times, you fucking mutt! I want nothing to do with this stupid game!
I'm pretty sure he's a goat, actually.
Ow, 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 ow! Stop it!
Since you've made it clear you won't listen to reason, I'll just make sure you have no arms to kill with!
Do you even listen to when I talk? I'm not the one doing the killing. It's you lot who are...
Grace drove her fist directly into his stomach. She followed it with another blow, and then another. And when it looked like she wasn't going to be satisfied until he was dead, I saw it. From out of nowhere, a tiny red dot appeared on Grace's face.
Hey! Stop already! There's a...
But before we could do anything... No! I liked her! The sound of a gunshot echoed in our ears. Oh, she's fine. Okay, phew. Grace released the man from her grip. Speechless, she moved her hand to her cheek, which had been nicked by a stray bullet. Oh, okay. Pecco? Not Pecco. Panther. Is that? I don't know. We all looked in the direction the shot came from. The shooter stood silently by the pillar, a trail of smoke rising from the mouth of her rifle. Her mask... The design was a panther instead of a goat, but it was clear that she was working with him.
You shot at her!
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
This is not the time for a prequel meme. Everyone slowly backed away from Tozu, suddenly fearful for their lives.
What a shocking and unnecessary display of violence.
You think?
You think? I was talking about the golfer woman. Oh, well, now that you've become acquainted with our enforcer, Mara, if any of you kids try to jeopardize the killing game, such as by attacking me, she'll be there to put an end to your shenanigans.
Even though she misses her shots?
That was just a warning. I assure you, it'd be unwise to further test her sharpshooting ability.
In any case.
Regardless, I finally have an answer to your previous question.
Huh?
You asked me if I knew anything about my friends besides their names and talents.
No matter.
Truthfully, I don't, but I'll continue to trust in them as if I do, because they are ultimates. Huh? They are charged with the betterment of society. They've proven themselves to be above simple acts of self-interest.
We will not succumb.
Even if you trap us, fire guns at us, and force us to endure farcical courtroom procedures. He's right! Grace was trying to compose herself, but she was clearly still shocked by her run-in with death.
Don't test me.
No matter how weird these guys are, they're talented. Do you really think ultimates would fall for this bullshit?
That's right. My friends and I have too much to live for and too much to achieve. We won't throw all that away for your killing game.
Don't get it mixed up.
We're going to escape. We have to.
One by one, the students raised their voices in solidarity with Wolfgang. All of them were so confident in what they were saying, so willing to blindly put their faith in each other. And for some reason, it made me sick.
Never underestimate the strength of human connection. I'm quite familiar with this idea.
What kind of captain would I be if I couldn't even handle a small crew of 15?
What is this horrible feeling of contempt? Why do I feel this way when everyone else seems so hopeful? The voice inside me was answered by another.
No.
You've got it all wrong.
The students turned their attention towards Eva, surprised by her words.
Do you actually believe no one here will try to kill? You're really naive. I don't know how you made it as a lawyer.
Well, instead of resorting to random ad hominem attacks, why don't you explain your reasoning?
It's the truth.
It's obvious. Compared to normal people, ultimates are more prone to killing, not less. Living with constant praise from the public has ruined our sense of self. If you need examples, just look around the room.
What a joke.
Excuse me?
Look.
In the outside world, ultimates will do anything to further their own goals. The same is probably true here. Once you realize your dreams can only be achieved if you escape, you'll resort to murder.
Can't you see?
If you continue to convince all of these people to trust each other, you'll only make them more vulnerable. Unless that was your plan all along. Is it possible you want to make everyone vulnerable so that it'll be easier for you to kill them?
That's enough.
Suddenly, Ingrid stepped in front of Wolfgang protectively.
Wolfie's done nothing wrong. He's given us all a vote of confidence. Yeah, and it's something we all needed. So, please stop trying to turn us against each other. Please?
The horrible feeling grew stronger as the other students admonished Eva. It grew stronger and stronger, and I knew I had to say something. Eva's right.
Huh?
No!
Damon, not you too!
I know.
Look, I get it. You want to make the situation less scary for everyone. But Eva made a good point. All of us have clear motivation to leave this place, even at the cost of another person's life. Whether it's to see our families again, or the sake of our talents.
Don't say that!
No! I would never kill anybody!
That's not it.
Diana, you yourself admitted you had too much to achieve. Don't you see how that's playing into the masked man's hands? That was hard to say. Masked man's hands? This whole we're all ultimates thing is pretty inane anyways. After meeting all of you, it's clear none of you have the same goals.
Hold on.
What are you insinuating? Don't we all carry the same obligation to improve the world we live in? This question angered me more than anything that had been said before. I could no longer suppress my true feelings.
That's wrong.
Look, the title barely means shit nowadays, alright? Most ultimates are just dullards, obsessing over some pointless hobby. Their talents don't contribute anything of worth. The only thing they're capable of is leeching off public attention for their own goals. Ouch.
You've got to be kidding me.
Running a business that feeds millions is pointless.
No.
Some of you are an exception, obviously. But come on, there's no way the rest of you can improve the world we live in with your niche fixations.
That was very...
Don't you mean rest of us? You're an ultimate too.
Yeah, what the hell makes you so special? I could feel their words worming their way into my soul. What makes you so special? Well, I can actually achieve things with my talent. I can argue policy, consider ethics and morality.
Yeah.
Better yet, I was the one who got you all through that trial.
Is that really what happened? I remember all of us helping out.
Yo, I see what's going on. You think you're better than us just because you can say words nobody understands. Well, that kind of stuff is relative. Like, tell me what a dragster is, do you know?
Humph, watch your step, lest you trip and fall from the unparalleled heights of your own vanity.
Not good enough.
I'm disappointed in you. How are you so concerned about making yourself look good when we're in the middle of a death game?
The hell?
Wait, I wasn't trying to... It's no use. They turned against me, hurling obscenities, scowling, simply shaking their heads.
Isn't this lovely?
Hoo-hoo! Do I sense anger, hatred, an unquenchable sense of bloodthirst? Well, save that for later. I'm the only person who can spill blood in this courtroom. The elevator will take you back to the killing game arena. We've cleaned up the crime scene and prepared a dorm room for each of you.
Get lost.
Thanks, Nick. Can you get lost?
Good evening.
Okay.
He returned to his podium, with the masked woman trailing closely behind. The bizarre mechanism that brought him into the room lowered the two of them into the ground and out of sight.
Hey.
Still, we're not gonna kill anyone, right guys? No matter what happens, we're all going to make it out of here okay.
It was only when the madman had left that reality truly began to set in. I'm trapped in a killing game, with people who despise me. How? How did this happen? I just wanted to help. I wanted to make sure we didn't trust each other too easily. And now I'm being treated like the bad guy. Will these people practice what they preach? Will they really refuse to kill? I can't trust anyone here. For better or for worse, it's me versus them. Okay, so cue the beginning of the end. The beginning of an unfathomable nightmare, an unrelenting despair. The beginning of the killing game. Now is the intro, okay. I'm excited to see. Hey, I know those guys. Whoa! Red Eyes, crazy. The bullets, it's nice. She's not even paying attention. Cool. Oh, I like that. The light. Cool. I love how much the helmet guy sticks out. It's funny. Well. Oh, we get the closing scene. Oh, and it's on like a bleacher? Is that what it is? And they're gonna tick down that way. I like that. That's a cool idea. Instead of just like a static screen. Okay, it's fading out. I was like, can I just stay on the screen? Is that gonna keep dripping? No. Okay, well, that's all we've got so far, obviously. So I guess I can talk about it. This is interesting. Okay, I gotta go one by one with my points here. I'm gonna miss everything. So obviously, art style and gameplay is near indistinguishable from the actual stuff. The actual, like, AAA Danganronpa games. I'll just put it that way. Which is insane, honestly. Like, that's an insane amount of effort. The, like, 3D models are slightly less, like, high def. Like, the textures are slightly less high definition. But other than that, like, it's indistinguishable, at least to me. So that's pretty amazing. It's like having a Danganronpa 4, which is cool. I like giving everyone an animal to represent them, because that makes them extra distinct. Because a lot of the instead of giving them like super wild designs, a few of them do, like the guy that's constantly wearing a wolf helmet. But a lot of them have more tame, realistic designs where they're just wearing clothes, not like crazy stuff. So giving them each an animal to represent them still makes them stand out in your head, and you can easily differentiate them. I liked... There's only one overlap in talent, which is nice, where the two felt similar, right? Which is pro gamer and influencer. Like, they are different, obviously, but they're in similar domains, right? Whereas everybody else feels different, completely different, which that can be a hard thing to do when you're trying to come up with ultimate talents for 16 characters, right? I mean, V3 had entomologists and anthropologists. Like, I know those are very different, but they just feel similar, you know what I mean? Even though Gonta's talent didn't really matter anyway. Oh, thanks. The classic PBS and viewers like you. Thank you. We didn't see much of him, right? Tozu, who's like the Monokuma stand-in. Assumedly. I mean, who knows? He's not super interesting to me. He feels like the... And this, I think this is intentional, because he wears all white, and then, what's her name? I called her Panther, and I can't remember what her actual name is now. She's wearing all black. So it feels like Tozu is supposed to be the showmanship side of Monokuma, and then the Panther girl is like the merciless killer side. And we didn't see much of her, so I can't really make too many statements about that yet. But I do think if Tozu is the mastermind behind all this, which he seems to be, but there might be a twist, who knows, right? I do like having the mastermind up front. So you actually get to build a relationship with them, and it feels good to defeat them at the end, assumedly. That was one of the things I liked the most about Straw 2, was making Mikado, who's the mastermind in Straw 2, reveal in the prologue, and then, you know, you're spending the rest of the game having to deal with this guy. So that's kind of cool. I don't really get, like, a good read on his character, because we didn't really see much of him. So he's not super interesting to me right now, but we'll get there, I'm sure. Oh, that's very loud, like the crescendoing. What else? I think I'm going to do... I mean, this is coming out on Friday, so I can do a stream on Saturday where I rank the characters a couple ways. I want to rank the characters by how much I like them so far, and then I will rank the characters by when I think they'll die and stuff. I'm wondering if this game is going to follow the Danganronpa tropes, you know? You know what I mean. Someone dies in an unexpected place, and then a serial killer is revealed among the group, and then a double murder, and then sacrifice, traitor, end. Or Impossible Murder is what 5 became, but it actually is the one with the traitor in it all the time, so. But did V3 have a traitor? I always forget this. I guess Samugi's technically the traitor. Yeah, so V3 didn't have that, but the other two did. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think given... I was wondering if maybe because it doesn't say Danganronpa in its name at all, this project might be straying from the Danganronpa stuff a bit more, but it seems to actually be pretty in line with it, which is interesting because maybe it will follow the tropes. I have a feeling... No, I'll save it. I'll save it for the tier list. I like most of the cast. I do think there are some characters right now that are just boring to me. I mentioned this last time, where they haven't really, like, interested me very much, which is, it's Ulysses, who's the historian, and then Jet, and... See, the problem with this is that I forget them. The marksman, what's his name? I don't even remember. Those guys haven't got to do much yet. And they didn't make like a super big impression. And notably, all three of them were in that that big room at the end where you just met everybody really fast, right? So I feel like that's probably a part of it. Because Elise, I don't remember. I remember her last name is Tolner, the fencer. She made an impact, even though she hasn't done much yet, just because we got like a one-on-one introduction with her, right? So that's, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's Eden's Garden so far. I have no idea how far in development this game is. If this is just a teaser because the game is almost out, or if this is a teaser because this is what they've got totally complete so far. I guess I'll have to check the Twitter and stuff to find out. But either way, when this game does release more, I will be here to play it. Because, yeah, it's basically like a Danganronpa 4. That's the best way I can say it. It's like, wow. This is just like Danganronpa, except, you know, hopefully, praying, better written. That was the other thing I was going to talk about. The music is probably the only thing that I'm not super into so far. And that might be a little bit... it might be hard to match Danganronpa's music, you know? Because, I mean, come on. But mostly, I think the issue for me personally is just that I don't jive with the aesthetic of the music. I bet you some people feel this way about V3's music because it leans much more into jazz, right? And this feels like it's leaning much more into classical or like orchestral, and I just don't really care for that. So that's basically why I think it's probably not jiving with me as much. It just feels less intense so far, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get there. Very interested to see what where the theming goes. I also don't know. I still don't know if this is like in the UK or if it's in America. Because there's a lot of English names, right? But there's also a good deal of Japanese names. And there's like French names. Like one French name, Jean. I'm trying to think back to all their names now. I don't really know that many of them. But like, with a name like Ulysses in the game, I'd feel like it would be British, but I don't know. That's probably known information, and I'm just spouting all this for no reason, but whatever. I'm sure you can tell me in the comments if it is. Well, thank you for watching. If you want to see more when this eventually comes out, you can subscribe. If you're not, I think you should. Please?
Do it for me, the ultimate influencer, yeah!
And, yeah. Next up, we're going to do Your Turn to Die's bad route, quote-unquote. That might be after Christmas, though, because the way I'm thinking, now that I'm, like, going through this is very good timing. Because Christmas is on Sunday this weekend. So I don't know if I'm going to have an episode up for Monday. because I'm going to be doing Christmas on Sunday and Saturday probably. So we'll see. Okay, I've rambled way too much. This video is already probably more than an hour long before my ramble. Oh man, it's almost 2 hours long. Well, you got a good episode to watch over Christmas. All right. Bye-bye.